Welcome, welcome everyone. My name is Diego. I'm here into the inauguration of the working groups that we've been scheduling with the help of the Chamber of Deputies here in Mexico, specifically with the migrants deputies. We have 5. The work of the Secretariat of Mexicans Abroad from the Morena and the Institute for National Education and National Formation, and from Morena as well. We've been gonna be starting the inauguration, and for that, I'm gonna ask Leslie Torres, which is one of the youngest people in the working staff in San Diego, California, to read part of the inauguration speech. So go, Leslie.
Okay, so the purpose of the working groups is clear. It's to listen to the migrant community, to gather proposals, concerns, and experiences, to establish connections between Morena, allied community organizations inside and outside of our country, and our fellow Mexicans living in the United States. Through this collective work, we seek to build in a participatory manner a fighting agenda that truly represents the interests and aspirations of our diaspora. And we would really like to give our appreciation to the support of the representatives of Morena's Migrant Caucus, our comrades from the National Institute of Political Education, the community leaders, activists, academics, students, and workers who join us today from various parts of the US, Canada, and Mexico, representing allied organizations of the community, of the Mexican community abroad, such as ACCC, Casa del Obrero Socialista Antonio Vital, Centro de Trabajadores Arice Chicago, Club Mex, Coalición de Migrantes Mexicanos, Commissioner Kelly Martinez Semrad, Comunidades en Hood River, Consejo Mexicano de los Trabajadores y la Juventud, Corporativo Jurídico y Organización Civil, Council on American Islamic Relations, Democratic Socialists of America, Dignidad Migrantes Society, Eastern Michigan University, Frente Amplio de Mexicanos Inmigrantes, International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, International Migrant Workers Union, ISCRA, Labor Community Alliance of South Florida, Liberation Road, Mexico Solidarity Project, Mujeres Morena República, Office and Professional Employees International Union, Orange County Government, Sindicato de Telefonistas de la República Mexicana, the Party of Socialism and Liberation, Unidad Patriótica, Unidos por el Pueblo, United Auto Workers, Vida UGEDR, Vista Migrante, Dignidad Migrante Society. Now, to maximize time and collective knowledge, these tables will be organized in several rounds of participation. First, thematic table, presentation of ideas general. Each participant will have up to 5 minutes to present a proposal, vision, or key issue. These presentations will serve as the basis for organizing the upcoming thematic panels. Thematic tables in debt development. Subsequently, each participant will have the opportunity to expand on their topic in a session of up to 15 minutes. Each presentation will be followed by an exchange of ideas, questions, and contributions for up to 1 hour, encouraging horizontal dialogue and collective construction. Finally, a space of 15 minutes will be granted for the closing by the speaker, who will be able to synthesize the ideas that emerged in the debate. This structure aims to democratize the conversation, foster active listening and strengthen community and political ties among all participants. The political and institutional message. Today, more than ever, the fourth transformation needs its daughters and sons abroad. The voice of the migrant community must resonate in this Congress, in the media, and in decision-making spaces that shape the direction of our country. In order to fulfill the vision of our moral leader, former President Andrés Manuel López Obrador, that people should migrate by choice, not necessity. It is essential to address the structural causes of migration in Mexico, hence the importance of these working groups. This is not a superficial consultation, but an ethical and political commitment to those who have never stopped contributing to Mexico, even from afar.
Thank you, Leslie. So today, today we invite you all the participants with enthusiasm, constructive criticism, and collaborative spirit. This working group represents the first step toward transforming the relationship between the Mexican state and its community abroad, as well as establishing strong links between the Mexican diasporas, the government of the Fourth Transformation, the Morena Party, and the National Institute of Political Formation, and our allied organizations in Mexico, the United States, and Canada. So this is the presentation for the working tables. As you see, we are working, it's a very ambitious working plan. So far, we have 30 organizations that they are participating with us, and we are pretty sure if more people is going to start adding to these working groups. I'm going to ask Leslie to share the calendar of the working table. The first round, as we say, is going to be on the first round. Everybody is going to have 5 minutes, not to expose, say all what they need to say, but just at least to say, this is the topics that we need to be talking about. We are expecting that you show up with 5 minutes after that, 15 minutes after that, you're gonna show up the whole thing that you have in mind. So the first round of working groups is gonna be for just 5 minutes. You're gonna have each one of you to talk about each one of the topics, what you want to talk about. What is the topics that you are good, and what is your expertise? What is what you want to be talking in the big table? So that's going to be the first round. After that, we're going to schedule with you the perfect time to give you 15 minutes so you can explain the whole idea that you have in mind. And then we want to open the discussion for 1 hour on each one of the meetings for all the participants. Talk to you, talk about what you want, what you are asking, what you are offering. And then you're going to have 15 minutes to closing the statement. If we need more meetings like that, we're going to keep doing it. But at the first step, what we're trying to do is two things. One is we need to listen to you. What is what you need? What is what you want? What is what you are thinking that we need to do? And the second, and establish the links between all these organizations that they don't know one to each other. One of the biggest problems for the Mexican community in the United States is like they are alone in their own space, and we need to break down. We need to start get connection from people from California to Florida to New York to Chicago, and with all the organizations, and they are friends of Mexico. As I say all the time, one thing is the U.S. government that I think is not friendly with anyone, but it's different. The American community that they are, we are friends. All of the migrants like me that we live for many years in the United States, we have a lot of friends. We know that is completely different from the U.S. government, not just this administration, pretty much every single one. So this is the 7 topics that we have for this inauguration, the English meeting, and the option for registered. You only have 5 options, which is labor, is unions, the USMCA, the electoral reform, and the immigration reform. We open another 2 tables for the Spanish speakings, that is Mujer Migrante, Women That Migrate, and the Migrantes Indígenas. But if you want to join one of those 2 groups, just let me know and I can add you to those topics. The first round is going to be for the next week and a half. We start on Wednesday, the 14th at 10 o'clock, 3 o'clock, and 6 o'clock. We're going to have the working tables. Pretty much the 3 o'clock time of Mexico City, obviously. It's going to be, we're going to try to reach all the English-speaking people, but everybody is welcome to join any kind of any meeting. We're going to make sure to translate what we are talking about. The 6 o'clock, we're going to try to do it like the one we're going to have later is going to be a presential and virtual. We're going to make meetings here in the Chamber of Deputies, and we're going to have the Zoom meeting as well. So this is for the first round of participation. As I say, we want to start on Wednesday, the 14th, 10 o'clock, migration reform, 3 o'clock, labors, 6 o'clock, Mujer Migrante. Thursday, we're going to have just one meeting at 10 o'clock. That's the unions. On Friday, you're going to have Migrantes Indígenas, revision on the USMCA, and electoral reform. On Saturday at 6 o'clock, we're going to have immigration reform. Monday 19, 10 o'clock, revision of the TMEC or USMCA. 3 o'clock, unions. 6 o'clock, labor. Tuesday 20th, Mujer Migrante, 10 o'clock. Wednesday, 21st, 10 o'clock, immigration reform, electoral reform. 3 o'clock, immigration reform, and 6 o'clock, unions. We don't have anything for the Thursday, the 22nd. For the Friday, the 23rd, we're going to have at 10 o'clock labor rights. At 3 o'clock, Migrantes Indígenas, and 6 o'clock, the USMCA. So this is the first round that each one of you, you're going to have up to 5 minutes to tell what you want to be discussing in the bigger and more longer working group or working table. As you see, I arrange each one of the topics in different times, so this way everybody is able to present and talk what you need to say what you need to say. Every one of you are going to have the report, the opening speak that we did today. We're going to send that information to everybody of you. Each result of each table, that's the same. We're going to send that information to everybody. So in case if you miss something, you're going to know what we are talking about. If you are not able to show up to one of the meetings, but you want to send information, we're going to do that exchange of information. You can send it by email, but WhatsApp or any other platform. And this, we're going to have it, and we're going to make sure everybody knows what we are talking about. Thank you for the sharing thing, Leslie. You want to just take it away. This calendar, I'm going to send it to everyone of you as well. I don't know if you have any questions about how we're going to be working on these working tables. Go ahead, Misa.
A couple of things, well, several things. I'm not sure I know the difference between labor rights and unions. They're so connected. So I'm not sure why there's 2 separate tables for that. That's one question. And then in terms of the proposals, and you mentioned electoral reform and immigration reform, are these proposals to suggest changes in legislation in the Mexican government or the US government or both?
Okay.
Probably Mexican, but
the labor thing, we need to one is so we can talk about what are the rights of the workers in USA. No matter if they have papers or no, we know that by law, everybody that is working in the United States, they have the rights. And a lot of the Mexican community, even with paper, they don't know if they have those rights, and sometimes they don't demand that. That's one thing. The unions, as we know, pretty much the undocumented Mexican, they have no right for to join unions, but we can come with an idea what we can do to protect all these undocumented workers, not just Mexican, even all the immigrants. They can be we can help them with that. Yes, but the other thing is we want to make the link between the unions in the United States and the unions in Mexico. One of the main things that the people need to leave their home country and go to the United States, that's because the labor staff in their country is bad, like in Mexico. We have the case in Guanajuato, in Silao, Guanajuato, with the union Cynthia that work together with the unions in the United States, help this small union to grow and right now be winning that. I don't know how do you say the case against the Charros unions here in Mexico. So that's the different approach that we're gonna be doing. So even when it seems like it's the same, it's not. The labor is going to be the first round is for to know which rights we have as workers in the United States. The second one is how we can establish the link between to help one to each other, Mexico, United States, and Canada. And in the revision of the USMCA, we have the chapter that is a labor chapter as well. So that's a different thing too. That's we didn't want to put it together because we think it's serve the specific point of view, know what we are talking about. Is some things on the labor is going to be on the unions and in the US MCA, but not everything. So that's why is the difference between one and the other two topics. The other one, I forgot what you asked me. Sorry.
Just in terms of electoral reform and immigration reform, is that for the Mexican Congress?
Yeah, that's in Mexico. Right now, the potential that we have the Mexican vote in the United States is between 11 million Mexicans that they are living in the United States, 4 of them documented. But I think we can reach the 30, 40 million that is second and third generation, that they are American citizens because they born over there, but they have the right to claim their Mexican citizenship and this way participate in the life in Mexico. So we are trying two things. One, you as Americans, citizens, know that it's not so easy for the Mexicans to vote when they leave their country. For the Mexico, is completely different from the United States, that they have your postal vote and all that specification if you don't want to go presential. But I don't think that all the countries have to manage between 4 million to 30 million people that they can vote outside. So it's a huge difference. And a lot of people think that's so easy. So it's kind of education for the American people to know that this is kind of difficult for the Mexicans to vote. But that vote is very important for the Mexican government to which direction we're going to be going. And the other one is we want to change the electoral law in Mexico. This needs to be changed. And I think with you as American citizen, you can help us telling us how do you do your process. For example, you start sometimes a week before. You don't wait to the same day that in Mexico. This in Sunday, the whole day people need to go and vote. Here, I think for the Mexican community abroad, we need to open maybe a week or maybe a month before, because it's, as I say, it's too many people. Right now, the INA, they give away 1,600,000 ID cards for vote in use in United States. And under the last election, only 200,000 people vote from outside of Mexico. And from those, just 110,000 vote from United States. So that means what 1,400,000 people, they didn't even knew how to vote. So it's a huge different thing that we need to talk about that to find a way to change the law and make it more easy to participate. The gain for you, American citizens, that the Mexican community start participating on that is that the way that the 4T start doing in Mexico is gonna be for many, many years to come if the Mexicans abroad start participating. And we start paying attention what this community in the United States it wants to change. That's going to be something good for the Mexican people, but the same for the American citizens that they don't know exactly how important is the work of the Mexican community. Any other question? Go ahead, Bruce.
No.
If other people don't have questions, I just wondered if I could make a couple of comments.
Sure, go ahead.
It seems like then I'm so glad that you explained, the intention of these different tables. It seems like a lot of it has to do with informing Mexicans living in the United States about their labor rights, about how to vote, about why to vote, and so on. I think for us, as you can see, there's quite a few of us that are involved with Mexico Solidarity that are not Mexican ourselves, but have some connections. So I think really for us, the most important thing next is to organize the meetings with the diputados and diputadas. And maybe I thought maybe Dennis, would you like to say just a couple words? I had mentioned we had talked yesterday, and we're excited about that possibility and as a way to get this all started. I don't know, Dennis, do you want to say something?
First of all, thank you, Diego, and all of you who are sharing. I'm in Boulder County, which is one of the counties in the Denver area, and I'm involved with DSA also in Denver, and maybe I'd like to ask a couple of questions later about that. But one of the senses that I'm getting from this organization I work with is that many of the immigrants, mostly from Mexico, who are working in the Boulder County, they are, and the term that we're using is they're getting decolonized. We need to decolonize them. They're getting colonized, meaning they're taking whatever the U.S. white element or government are saying needs to happen. So they are losing a sense of their roots. They're losing a sense of their rights. And I've spoken to actually several in conferences, several Mexicanos, and I just out of casualness, I would ask, did you vote this last election? And what you were saying, Diego, no, they didn't vote. Who would you have voted for? And some of them say they wouldn't have voted for Claudia. So that tells me they don't really know. They don't know the essence of some of these issues that are being brought up here. And I know that there's a lot of complexity to it. So I was hoping, and I'm not sure, I'm still clear about this, that one of the deputies could come to the Denver area and meet with, at least to start off with, the participants of the Latino Mexicano community, and tell them what their rights are and what they need to do, and bring some essence of pride in who they are. Because those of you who have been in the U.S., racism is alive and well, and is whether it's subliminal or out and out. So I think I got excited when Ms. Yu was telling me about what you can do to bring some sense about their rights as Mexicanos. And while I'm at it too, I'm kind of curious what your position is, you plural, is with the unity between Mexicanos and Chicanos, because there's a strong Chicano movement here as well. And I know Meju, and I know several, and Bruce, we know several people that are fighting strongly for that connection. What role can you play, or do you play with that? I'm sorry, I'm taking a lot of time, but there are a lot of things that I think your deputies across the different places can support. And I'm probably just picking on some of the ideas, but this is very uplifting. And so thank you for doing this.
Well, thank you. And no, you can speak as much as you want. That's okay. Yes, we know that we need to inform the people over there. So that's why we are asking for your help, invite you to participate with this, because we need your help. We are planning the educational, the political education, the 40, you say the colonized. we have a very important guy here that passed away almost 2 years ago, Enrique Dussel, which the whole idea, ideological idea, all his life work was precisely talking about that. We need to start to change this political system. That's one other thing that we are doing too. And I'm gonna ask Misu to send you the link to register precisely to that that thing that's the political education that we're gonna be talking about. That we don't gonna do exactly what is doing the institute, the National Institute of Political Formation, because they are focused on what we need in Mexico. What we need in the United States is talk to this second and third generation of Mexicans that they live over there, that they have no idea what's going on in Mexico. They don't know what is Enrique Peña Nieto. They don't know what is Fobaproa. So we need to start talking about that. So this way they're gonna say, okay, we need to do something, because there is a problem in Mexico. We are seeing that. We are more than welcome to show up to every single place that you invite us. School, union, any event. But I'm gonna send you what I need from you, because it's pretty much just a letter say invite you to this deputy to show up to this event, and we're gonna make sure somebody's gonna show and talk to the community over there.
Thank you so much, Diego. That's exactly what Menchu was informing me about just what you said, and thank you, because for example, there's a Denver DSA. It's a chapter. There's a national. And there's a Denver. They're paying about 90% in terms of international issues. They're paying attention to Palestine and Gaza, which is wonderful, but they're not paying much attention to the Mexicano. Carajo, this is really frustrating, And you go to these meetings, and it's sorry, they want to do the right thing. I know that, but they're all white,
yeah,
and which is good to some extent. But where are people? And so I would love for you to be invited, and I would work on that. The other thing I want to say is, como no soy mexicano myself, I consider myself Chicano. That's why I brought up that issue. Is that I would suggest that you connect also, not just with me here in the Denver area, but with, I work with an organization called El Centro de Bienestar, El Centro de Amistad de la Comunidad. And they're the ones who focus in Boulder County, as I was saying. And they're both Mexicanos. They're from Guadalajara. But there are two directors. They're great. But están solitos. They need your kind of expertise to come speak with the people. Anyway, there's more to say, and thank you. This is exciting for me.
Yes, I'm gonna send you I'm gonna ask Misha to send you the link for the registration to the political formation. And we can keep talking about it precisely about this specific topic. One of the main things of this working table is we're gonna listen to everybody. So when we go over there, we know what needs to be talking about, because we already listen what you are asking for. Okay, thank you. Bruce, go ahead.
Yeah, I think that, let's see, make sure I'm good. Dennis, I thought that a bunch of your points were really right on, and really, very, very, very good questions. The actual mechanism, how community groups, whomever, anywhere in the US, can actually invite diputados to come to their meetings. Diego, you say that you're going to send the information about that? Okay. Another thing that I've raised, and my situation is a little different. I'm a gringo. I lived half my life in Mexico. I live in Guanajuato, and I was in California maybe a year after AMLO was elected, and I went to the consulado in San Jose, and I just had this idea in my mind that everything had changed. Well, everything hadn't changed. There was Andres Manuel's picture on the wall, but that was about the only indication that there was any kind of a change. In the consulado, they weren't putting out any kind of new information like things are changing in Mexico. There was no new information whatsoever. So I think at the consulados, and even in the Embajada in Washington, D.C., those are the places where that really should be not just providing information, but be sources, be places for people in the Mexicano communities throughout the United States to be able to go to find out just about anything about what's going on in their country, information about the 4T, whatever. So that's one thing. Dennis, you had mentioned about relations between the Chicano and Mexicano communities. That's, this is an old question. And I think that there's no contradiction there. But really, I mean, I live in Mexico, and a lot of my friends really don't know what a Chicano is. And that's for people like you, Dennis, to be putting out, this is the history of, of who we are, of who Chicanos are, right? Orale. Anyway, okay, I've said enough.
Thank you.
Yes, this topic about the consulates, consulados, they're going to be talking on the electoral reform and migration reform. Migration reform, we need to, our immigration law in Mexico, it is say that we need, what we ask today, the United States do, we need to do it as well. So we're going to be asking to modify the Mexican immigration law. And in one of that topic, we're going to be talking about precisely of the consulates and the embassy outside the country, specifically in the United States, because there is no change so far. And this is one of the main complaints about the Mexican community, but we're going to be talking about that, about the Chicano difference between Chicanos and Mexicans. I'm working on the presentation precisely to know what is the difference, and so easy. The Chicano community, I say your mom, your dad, they are Mexican. Say, okay, become Mexican, claim your citizenship. So this way we can use finally working together and take away that idea that we are different. That's come from many years ago. I think we can change that that topic, and that's one of the things that we want to reach with these working tables. Okay, Tonya.
Yeah, I'm in Florida, by the way. So I was going to mention the Mexican consulate. If we can communicate with them, get somebody from you in there to set like a class up, then we can get like immigrant coalitions and Farm Workers Association of Florida for here to reach their people and then take the class. So it's going to take a lot of reaching out, like a lot of steps to reach the people, because here they're very scared right now.
Yeah, well, one thing that's important to say, this plan, what we are doing right now, is a work of Morena Party, the National Institute of Formation Política of Morena, and the deputies from Morena. We are a political party. We are not allowed to go to the consulate or the embassy and say we need to do this. But one of the things what we are saying, we're going to recollect all the information that you're going to have here, and we're going to send it to the Secretariat de Relaciones Exteriores. So this way, there is a need to do that. So you need to start doing that. And we're going to offer what we have. Yesterday, I was talking with somebody about that. I don't want to belong Morena. I don't want anything on Morena, but I'm interested in what you are doing. Okay, we can open another channel that is not Morena. That's I have my own organization, Frente Amplio Mexicanos Inmigrantes. We can do it on that way. But this thing is Morena because it's the political force more important in the whole world. Actually, we are going to try to reach 10 million people that are going to integrate Morena. So I think we're going to have enough force to go and push the government to change things in not only on the consulates, everywhere. So, but yes, we have that in mind. Yes, go ahead, Bruce.
Okay, just real quick, because I just spoke. No, I think it's real important for progressives in the United States to really understand that the government is one thing and political parties are another thing. Like you just said, Diego, Morena can't go into any of the consulados and say, this is what we're going to do. The consulados are entities of the government. Morena, for example, is a political party, right? And just because you are a government official that's with Morena, that doesn't mean that the two are the same. That's one thing. And then the other thing that Tanya was just raising, I think you, Tanya, was really all of what we're talking about is in an intense climate of fear and repression against all immigrants. And Mexicanos know this well, maybe better than anyone else, because in dealing with INS raids, ICE raids, you know, since before I was born. So anyway, that's just something, you know, that's on top of everything that we're talking about. Is this particular climate under Trump and what's his name, Rubio?
Mhm. Yes, and this is one of the things that I think that a lot of people get confused when López Obrador became president. He said this: "I'm gonna govern for everybody." If you check the results of the López Obrador government, the rich people, they still rich. Because he was the government of the 40 is for everybody. The thing here, us as a party, we are a party, but we are a movement as well. And we need to activate the movement, so we can push pressure on our own government, because we need to ask what they need to do. And that's one of the things that I think we failed in the last 6 years with López Obrador, because we believe in whatever he was saying. Actually, we still believe in what he was doing. And we believe in that. But I think we need to change that and start more this movement to push those changes that needs to be done. First Misu, then Tonya. Go ahead, Misu.
Oh, yeah, no, I was just thinking, like, from what both Denise and Tonya said, it's like it's not that easy for us either to really engage with these communities right now. I think that our goal is similar to the deputies in that we want to figure out how to really reach those populations, those people in the places where we live. But one way of doing that is through this this idea of having diputados available for meetings, because I think that would be an incentive for people to come in here, ask their questions. And I think it's not just from the tables, but from the populations themselves, because their interests might be different in different parts of the country as to what the main topic is that they want to focus on in their meeting with the diputado. So I think just being a little bit more open on that score. And I think that we're not really, I think there are a few proposals that we might be able to make based on like our work in labor, for example, but on some of these topics, not so much. But I think it's a process. So the first step, I think, really is this great idea of having visits to the different communities. And then the last thing I'll say, and maybe Cesar will want to speak to that, really one of our main interests too was to really help with the political education. We do have people that are experienced with that and could help design and speak or present at some educational events. Thanks.
Go, Tonya.
Yes. So I don't know if you're in Mexico, right?
Yes.
Okay. So have you seen all these protests on TV?
Yes.
Here, okay. So it's like a grassroots movement, just volunteers by 50-51. And so we have a 50-51 in Orlando, but huge turnout, but it was mostly old white people. And our population, Hispanics, Latinos here, 60% voted for Trump.
Cubanos.
Ugh, disappointing. But anyway, when I hosted before 50-51 in January, February, and March on my own protest, we had Mexican flags everywhere. It was beautiful. We had Mexican music. People were dancing. But when I got with Orlando 50-51, there was a lot of people, but they were all white. So I started 50-51 Orlando Latinos to try to bring them together. So my question is, if we had some literature to pass out, explain to the Latinos that come, and then they could share that information with their friends and family, I think that would be a good idea.
Okay. Yes, we're gonna start making those pamphlets, books, and everything. Because as I say, right now in Mexico, we are so focused. If you go to the Institute channel, they are so focused in South America. And we need to change that. We need to start to educate the second, third generation. As you say, most of the protesters are white people. Like right now, here is Leslie's my daughter. She needs to be very careful because she is just resident. She is not citizen from the United States. So she gets scared. If I go and I get in trouble, they're gonna take my papers. But you have more family. They are American citizens. And I think we can help that we can use that help from this young American citizens that they are Mexican descendancy to start doing that. We are working precisely on elaborate all this information, very basic information. A lot of that is going to be digital. We are talking about it. We have something printed already, trying to send it over there. Yes, it's one of the things we are seeing on the political education channel. That, as I say, I'm going to give that information to everybody to make sure the people wants to be involved in that specific topic. We're going to be talking about.
Okay.
Okay. Yes, Bruce.
Just real quick, and not to ask you, Diego, to put anybody on the spot, but just wondering, we've got 17 people here, and I'm wondering where everybody is from. How many of it? Well, I'm in Mexico. Diego's in Mexico. Is anybody else in Mexico?
Mexico.
So everybody else is in U.S. cities, right? Usted.
Armando is Mexico. Carolina is in Mexico City.
Okay.
I think you are in Los Angeles.
So people are from all over the place.
Yeah.
Tanya's from Orlando in Florida.
Yeah.
And Bijou is in Hawaii. Dennis is in Denver. So, I mean, what do people see as about these ideas? Are you interested in inviting diputados to where you are? Are you part of a group that would be interested?
So that's the thing. As I say, that's why I read all the organization. They are collaborating with us, and we are open to go to each one, as many as we can, of the events that you have over there. Do something with you, because it's very important. It's not matter how small or how big is your organization. I know the DSL, PSL have a big coverage, and we need your help. And it's not just a free help. I think this is something that everybody's gonna win, because all these Mexicans that we are trying to reach, they're gonna be involved in Mexican political life, but the same in the United States. As you say, it's a shame that a lot of Latinos, they vote for Trump. The good thing is that I think it is more easy now to talk to them because they are not so happy. I have a bit more proof from my own family say, "Oh, I'm sorry, I voted for Trump. I didn't have any idea what I was doing." Now, finally, I think they're gonna pay attention and say, "This is what we need to do." But we need to change things, because I don't wanna. I mean, I'm gonna talk bad about Trump, but how are you gonna defend Biden or Obama? Or so we need to offer something new, and I think that's what we are working on. One of the plans that we have here from Mexico, start pushing those young people that they are leaders in their community. We have Michelle, who she is from the PSL. We go and help her to keep growing politically. All the people there from DSA, the same. We need to start helping to that people, and they are with us right now. I think this is one of the main things that we are trying to reach with this working plan that we have. I don't know if anybody wants to say anything else. As I say,
Diego, let me just mention that Meju put up a note in the chat about our weekly a newsletter from the Mexico Solidarity Project. Everybody should check that out. If you don't subscribe already to our free bilingual newsletter from the Mexico Solidarity Project, check it out.
It's excellent. It's excellent.
On the information I'm gonna start sending to everybody is gonna go the links of every single one of the groups that they are joining us. So, and I'm gonna ask to help one to each other. I have my own channel, Hablemos de Migración. We need to start doing things together, because one of the things I wanna close with this is not just as I was saying first. It's not just the tables. We're gonna be talking about something that's gonna stay there. We're gonna try to achieve that this is gonna be a working group, the permanent working group. No matter who is in the deputy, we need to keep talking about this. So the next generation deputies and migrants deputies in Mexico, they're gonna have to talk to us because we already are doing this. Besides, in Morena wants to keep doing this. If they say we don't want to do it, that's why it's important. So we are many organizations where we can do in this job. Right now, I need to be thankful with Morena, with Alejandro Robles, which is the Secretary of Mexicans Abroad, because he gave me the opportunity to start working and do this. So this is the first time that this working, the political party, the Morena, the Institute, and the Chamber of Deputies. And we have one of the senators, Karina Ruiz, which is helping as well. So I think this is a perfect time to make sure this is going to be not just a small period of time talking about something, make it permanent. So in this way, one of each of us, we know one to each other now, and I think we can keep working in the future, no matter who is in the government. I don't think with Morena is going to leave the power for many years to come, but we need to be ready. If one day, we need to be ready to keep working on that. So in little more than 1 hour and 10 minutes, I'm going to have another meeting just in Spanish. If you want to join us, you are more than welcome as well. In the meantime, I'm going to send the schedules of all the meetings, the working table that we have in the next 2 weeks, so you can join us in any one. Just if somebody needs translation, please let me know. As I say, the 3 o'clock meetings are going to be focused on English only. But you are welcome to enter to any other meeting, 10 o'clock, 3 o'clock, and 6 o'clock. If one of you have no time on those times, but you want to talk, just let me know and we can arrange a special meeting and a special time with you. And we invite everybody to join us as well. That's why I leave a lot of blank spots, so we can put any time that you are available to talk. We want to listen to you and keep inviting more organizations. Yes, Tonya?
I have one quick question. Do you guys have like a logo? You have a logo, right? Or not yet?
We are using the Morena logo and the Chamber of the Deputies logo.
I just kind of want to get the logo out so people can say, who is this? Well, let me tell you, So if we're allowed to use the logo, please let me know, because
Yes.
I make flyers all the time.
On the paper where they're going to be sending, there's 2 logos on the bottom. The one is Morena and the other one is the Cámara de Diputados. I recommend use the Cámara de Diputados. I think it's more attractive to people. But yeah, you can use any of those.
Okay,
And
thank you.
if you have the logo from your organization, please send that to me. So this way, at the end of each document, I can add all the logos that the organization that they are supporting this work.
Okay.
Okay, well, thank you so much to everybody. And we want to keep working together very soon. Thank you so much and see you next time.
Saludos a todos los chicanos de aquí de los mexicanos.
Hola, Armando. Hola.
Hola, hola. Saludos.